Shortly after COVID lockdown restrictions were eased in mid-2020, a fight broke out at Avas Bar on Renshaw Street here in Liverpool, something that we spoke about on the 3rd of June 2022. During the fight, a man was said to have had his head smashed against a toilet so hard that the toilet broke. Now, I know what you're all going to be hoping, but alas, it was not a copper's head. In fact, it was coppers who were said to have caused the injury to the man. Merseyside police constables, 31-year-old Sean Miley, 37-year-old Paul Grimes, 40-year-old Lucy Donaldson and 26-year-old John Thompson are all alleged to have been involved in the brawl. In fact, Sean Miley and Paul Grimes are accused also of tipping the man's head into a filthy toilet during the fight, and Miley is also accused of grabbing a shard of broken porcelain from the broken toilet and lacerating the victim's leg. All four plod are appearing in Preston Crown Court this week, with Miley and Grimes charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and Thompson and Donaldson charged with affray. Fiona Clancy, prosecuting, told a jury of 8 men and 4 women at Preston Crown Court that Jack Bennett, the victim, provided a statement to the police. He alleged that both defendants Miley and Grimes assaulted him within the toilet area. He alleged that he was repeatedly punched to the face, causing him to fall to the floor. His head was thereafter pushed down the blocked toilet, which contained feces and liquid which he inhaled and swallowed. His head was also slammed against the toilet so hard that it caused the toilet to break. You will see the toilet itself broken into pieces and appearing to have become detached from the wall, she said. During the course of the assault, he found himself at one point caught upright in the broken toilet with his legs in the air. It is at this point he felt a sharp pinch to his leg, which he believes was lacerated by the taller of the 2 officers, Miley, with a shard of broken ceramic from the toilet. The court heard that on that evening the men's toilet cubicle was marked out of order and male customers were directed to use the female toilet cubicle by a sign posted on the door. Ms Clancy said that shortly after 10:27 p.m, Mark and Jack Bennett were recorded on CCTV entering the toilet area at around the same time as Miley, Grimes, Thompson and another of their colleagues witness Stephen Auguste, or Auguste, whatever, I don't know. Showing CCTV footage to the court, Miss Clancy told the jury, "The Crown say that Mark Bennett can be seen to raise his hand up in what appears to be a non-aggressive and greeting type manner. At that stage, the defendant, Thompson, appears to move aggressively between the defendant, Miley, and the complainant, Jack Bennett, and directly towards Mark Bennett, which results in Thompson and Mark Bennett taking hold of each other. During this incident, Donaldson became involved in trying to restrain Mark Bennett. However, she was described as then angrily confronting bar worker Lorraine Brady before grabbing hold of Brady's hair and pulling her head down. Miss Clancy told the jury that Miss Brady did not appear to retaliate to the alleged attack. Miley was recorded taking hold of Jack Bennett by the neck and shoulder and pushing him into the disused male toilet cubicle, closely followed by Grimes. As the 3 men entered the cubicle, the door shut behind them and remained closed for a sustained period of time of approximately 1 minute and 30 seconds. During that time, Donaldson could be seen to walk into the toilet area again, open the door and look inside the male cubicle before turning round and walking back out into the main bar area. A short time later, Mr. Augustus, I don't know, also opened the cubicle door and looked inside before walking back into the main bar area. Miley and Grimes were then recorded leaving the cubicle, with Grimes seen to seemingly refasten his watch back onto his wrist. Jack Bennett was then seen to emerge with what Miss Clancy described as a bloody mouth and a closed eye. Thompson was then seen pushing a member of the public out of the way, causing him to fall into a booth and clash with Mark Bennett once again. Miss Clancy told the jury that the CCTV showed Jack Bennett, the victim, move towards Thompson, pick up a glass from the bar in his left hand and transfer it to his right hand before striking Thompson over the head, causing Thompson to fall to the floor, unconscious. That behaviour does not form part of this indictment, she said. And I should think not. Look, copper or not, someone beats on you like that, they deserve what they get. Now, although I don't condone violence, as in starting fights, I certainly advocate finishing them. Jack Bennett was picked up from the town by his sister and taken to hospital, where he was examined and reported blurred vision. A bruise was apparent by the right eyebrow, and a laceration measuring 2 centimetres to the right lower leg were recorded, which needed stitching up. Ms Clancy told the court that the CCTV footage also shows that he had facial bleeding. Kelsey Bennett, Jack's sister, describes Jack Bennett's eye as being red, whilst the side of his head appeared to be bruised and swollen. His nose was bleeding, he was holding his ribs and appeared to have difficulty breathing. She added, Jack Bennett himself also lists a split lip, cut to the eye and a nose injury. Those injuries are in deep contrast to the presentation of defendants Grimes and Miley, who appear relatively unscathed on the CCTV, leaving the toilet cubicle, in which the Crown say they unlawfully assaulted Jack Bennett, causing him those injuries. Now, once the 4 bullies were interviewed over the fight, all 4 of them gave prepared statements and remained silent throughout questioning, further adding weight to the fact that you should never speak to the police, even in interview situations, seeing as the police don't do it themselves, no matter how much they tell you it will help you. In their prepared statements, Miley and Grimes claimed that they restrained Jack Bennett to stop him assaulting members of their group. Miley claimed he had merely used a distraction strike to Mr Bennett's left rib area and that the complainant fell backwards, causing the toilet to break. Grimes said earlier on in the night Donaldson had recognised Mark Bennett from her role as a police officer, and that Mr Bennett had stared over at them, causing him to speak to Mark Bennett to try and clear the air. In his statement, he claimed he had gone to use the toilet and emerged to find Jack Bennett and Miley in an altercation, so joined his colleague to restrain Mark Bennett. Both Miley and Grimes said that they did not recall what caused the situation to come to an end. Thompson said his actions were proportionate, reasonable and justified. Those good old buzzwords. And said that he took hold of Mark Bennett after seeing him raise his arm, which he interpreted as an aggressive action. Donaldson claimed that she assisted another of her colleagues, Emma Heffenden, to restrain Mark Bennett after Thompson had grabbed hold of him. In her prepared statement, she said that bar worker Ms Brady then told her to get the fuck off him and became shouting and aggressive. She claimed that, believing she was about to be attacked, she grabbed Ms Brady's hair to pull her down and remove what she saw as Ms Brady's height advantage. Now, if that's not the biggest load of word salad I've ever heard, I don't know what the fuck is. Now, the job of the jury in this trial is to actually determine whether the 4 off-duty plod's actions were necessary, reasonable and proportionate acts of self-defence, or whether they were engaged in unlawful violence. All 4 of these Merseyside cretins have pleaded not guilty. I'm sure you've already worked that bit out for yourselves anyway. And the trial continues. I shall bring you updates as they are available.